Rangers are heading into a summer that could define the next few seasons. And let's be honest, it's going to have to be a big one. The squad needs trimmed, reshaped, and rebuilt with players who not only have the quality to fight for silverware, but who actually want to be here, who understand what it means to wear that blue shirt, walk out at Ibrox, and give everything for the badge. Fans have had enough of passengers. It's time for Rangers to stop talking about potential and start building something real, something capable of stopping Celtic's recent dominance and putting trophies back in the cabinet. And as we dive into everything that's been going on over the past 24 hours, it's clear that things are already starting to move behind the scenes. Transfer news squad updates and a few strong words from the interim manager have all surfaced. So let's break it all down because there's plenty to get into. We start with Barry Ferguson, who didn't sugarcoat anything when asked about Danilo and Oscar Cortez. Both players were left out of the starting lineup for the final Old Firm derby of the season, and not without reason. Danilo only got on in the 93rd minute, a token appearance at best, while Cortez didn't even get off the bench. Ferguson's comments made it clear returning from injury isn't a free pass into the starting 11. You have to earn it. He admitted that the intensity of training at Ibrox is at another level, probably unlike anything those two have experienced before. And while they've both been out for a long time, that doesn't mean they get a place handed to them just because of their name or price tag. According to Ferguson, they're good players. No doubt about that. But they need to show more, they need to work harder. And most importantly, they need to prove in training that they deserve a spot. And he wasn't being harsh for the sake of it. He actually backed them to play a role before the end of the season, hinting that they still have time to make an impact. But he was crystal clear. Rangers is not a club where you just walk into the lineup. Merit matters. You fight for your place or you don't play. That's the standard that needs to be set if this club is serious about climbing back to the top. Now, while the squad gets evaluated from top to bottom, we've already seen movement on the transfer front. Rangers have made a decision on defender John Leafico, who's completed a permanent move to Exeter City. The centre-back had been on loan there throughout the current campaign, and after impressing, at least early on, the move has been made official. He signed a 2-year deal and will look to restart his career in League One next season. Let's be real here, Leafico never really got a shot at Rangers. Since arriving from Leicester in January of 2022, he made just one senior appearance, a League Cup tie last year. Injuries haven't helped, and he hasn't played since January due to a knock. But despite all that, Exeter's manager Gary Caldwell still sees huge potential in him. He said Leafico has all the tools to become a top player. Now it's just about staying fit and consistent. That's the kind of mentality Rangers need more of. Players who take setbacks, learn from them, and keep pushing. It's a clean break that works for both sides. Rangers clear space in the squad, and Leafico gets a fresh start at a club willing to invest in him. Moves like this are exactly what we should expect over the next few months, trimming the fat, moving on players who aren't part of the future and opening the door for a new generation to step in. And speaking of future additions, Rangers are being linked with a potential summer move for winger Moussa Djenepo. The Malian international, who once lit up the Belgian league before earning a $30 million move to Southampton, could now be available for a fraction of that price. Things haven't quite worked out for him in recent years. He returned to Standard Liège in 2023 and is currently on loan in Turkey with Antalyaspor, but a dispute over wages has cast serious doubt over his future there. Now, with a modest $2 million release clause and uncertainty surrounding his next step, several clubs are circling, including Rangers. Reports suggest the club has already made initial contact with his representatives to gauge interest in a move to Ibrox, and it makes sense. He's fast experienced and still only 26. If Rangers can get him focused on firing, he could offer the kind of direct attacking threat that's been sorely lacking at times this season. Interestingly, Nico Raskin, already a part of the Rangers midfield, also spent time at Standard Liège, though he never actually crossed paths with Djenepo. But it does highlight the club's ongoing connections with the Belgian market, which could prove useful once again. Of course, Rangers won't be the only ones interested. Leeds United, fresh off their promotion back to the Premier League, are also reportedly tracking the winger. With their financial muscle and Premier League status, they could pose a serious challenge. But here's the thing, Djenepo is believed to prefer a return to the UK. and Ibrox might offer the perfect environment for him to rebuild his career in a competitive league with European football on the table and a massive fan base behind him. Meanwhile, Maccabi Tel Aviv have also been mentioned as a possible destination, but the signs suggest Gineppo wants something a bit more high profile. Rangers need reinforcements out wide, and if they can convince him to buy into the project, this could be a smart bit of business. And while transfer rumors keep swirling, the managerial situation is still up in the air. Barry Ferguson has stepped in on an interim basis following Philippe Clement's exit, but the search for a permanent replacement is ongoing. There's a lot riding on this decision. The next manager has to be someone who understands the size of the club, who can handle the pressure, but who also brings a clear vision and identity to the pitch. Rangers can't afford another misstep. The right appointment could be the difference between another season of frustration and a genuine title. A challenge. And before we wrap this first half, there was one more moment this week that sparked a bit of laughter and a bit of controversy too. Ahead of the last Old Firm clash, there were questions about whether Rangers should give Celtic a guard of honor. Former Ibrox legend Ali McCoist wasn't having any of it. In fact, he joked that instead of clapping them onto the pitch, the Rangers players should have sprayed them with water bottles, just like Václav Černý did at Celtic Park earlier in the season. He said he'd even got a message from one of the lads suggesting it and thought it was brilliant. Of course it was all tongue-in-cheek, but it goes to show the rivalry is alive and well, and gestures like guards of honor, not a chance. Not in Glasgow, not in this fixture, never going to happen. And that just about sets the tone for what this summer has to be about. No more being nice, no more letting standards slip. Rangers need to rediscover their edge, rebuild their identity, and come out fighting. The rebuild starts now. And as the rebuild gathers momentum, there's one thing fans need to remember. This isn't just about signing a few flashy names and hoping for the best. It's about getting the structure right, building a team with purpose, and cutting out all the dead weight that's been holding the squad back for too long. Rangers have been stuck in a cycle of patchwork squads and half-baked projects for years, and it's shown on the pitch. There's no room anymore for passengers or players who crumble under pressure. Everyone who walks through the door at Al Shinhawi this summer needs to be there for one reason: to win. And while Barry Ferguson continues to hold the reins on an interim basis, he's making it clear he's not here to hand out favors. His stance on Danilo and Cortez sent a message to the entire squad. Past reputations mean nothing. What matters is effort, commitment, and consistency. That kind of attitude will need to run through the entire club from top to bottom. It's not just about picking the right starting 11 each week. It's about setting a standard that everyone has to meet every single day on and off the pitch. The players who remain and the ones who come in will need to buy into that. They'll need to be hungry, and they'll need to understand what it means to play for Rangers. This isn't just another club. It's a club that demands trophies, passion, and pride. The fans aren't looking for excuses anymore. They want results. That's why recruitment this summer is so important. It's not just about filling gaps. It's about raising the level. Players like Gineppo, if he comes, need to hit the ground running. There's no time for slow starts or settling in. Rangers need impact players, ones who can change a match, lift the team, and give the fans something to believe in again. But it's not just new signings that matter. The leadership vacuum left by players moving on also needs to be addressed. With key figures departing or nearing the end of their contracts, the dressing room needs strong personalities, players who will take responsibility, who won't hide when things get tough. That kind of mentality can't be taught overnight. It has to be part of the recruitment plan from day one. There's also the reality of finances. Rangers can't compete with some of the massive money being thrown around elsewhere, so they need to be clever. That means identifying players who are undervalued, who are hungry to prove themselves, and who see Rangers as a step up, not a fallback. The right blend of experience and youth will be key. You want players who've been through battles before, but also youngsters who bring fresh energy and a point to prove. In that context, John Liefeko's departure makes sense. He wasn't going to break into the first team, and holding on to players just to pad out the numbers only slows progress. Letting him move on is a sign that the club is being more ruthless. And that's a good thing. It's the same attitude that needs to apply across the squad. If you're not good enough or not committed enough, you shouldn't be here. As for the manager's role, the board's decision in the coming weeks could shape the next few years. Whoever takes over needs backing, not just financially, but structurally. There's no point bringing in a new face if he doesn't get the tools to build properly. That means support from the top, clarity around recruitment, and a long-term plan. Chopping and changing managers every year has gotten the club nowhere. It's time for stability, but only if it comes with standards. Ferguson, for his part, has shown he's not afraid to call it like it is. Whether he stays on or someone else is brought in, that level of honesty and directness needs to remain. Too often in recent years, Rangers have been too soft, too forgiving. Opponents need to fear. Coming to Ibrox again. That comes from having a squad with a spine with fight and with a clear identity. And let's be honest, the gap to Celtic isn't unbridgeable. But closing it takes more than talk. It takes better recruitment, better preparation, and a team that plays with heart every time they step on the pitch. The Old Firm derby isn't just about pride. It's about setting the tone for the rest of the league. You win those games and you send a message. You lose them, or worse, show up timid, and it sticks with you. Ali McCoy's cheeky suggestion about spraying the Celtic players instead of offering a guard of honor might have been a joke, but it tapped into something real. Rangers fans don't want to see gestures of respect when their rivals are lifting titles. They want to see fight. They want to see their team standing tall, refusing to roll over and pushing back with everything they've got. This summer isn't about comfort. It's about hard decisions. Who stays? Who goes? Who comes in? Every move matters. Every signing has to count. And every player in that dressing room needs to understand exactly what's expected of them. Because come August, there'll be no more excuses. No more injury passes. No more betting in periods. Just results. Just performances. Just Rangers. Or back where they belong, challenging at the top and giving their fans a team they can be proud of again. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a move that's set to stir the Scottish Premiership waters, Lawrence Shankland has officially joined Rangers, and he did so in style, greeted by a wave of excitement and celebration from the Light Blues faithful. The prolific striker, long admired for his sharp eye for goal and relentless work ethic, arrived at Ibrox to a hero's welcome, with fans gathering outside the stadium to cheer their newest signing, Shankland, who had a remarkable season with Hearts, scoring consistently and leading the line with maturity, now steps into the blue half of Glasgow with big expectations on his shoulders. The 20-day Theatrium, when it was 28-year-old's transfer had been the subject of intense speculation for weeks, with Rangers fans eager for a natural goal scorer to boost their title hopes. With the ink now dry on the deal, Shankland's arrival feels like more than just a signing. It feels like a statement. Speaking shortly after his unveiling, Shankland expressed both gratitude and ambition. "It's an honor to join a club of this size with its history and passion," he said. "I know what this badge means, and I'm here to give everything." His words resonated with supporters who have seen flashes of brilliance from the forward in recent seasons, especially during his time at Dundee United and Hearts, where he matured into one of Scotland's most lethal finishers. Manager Philippe Clement has hailed Shankland as a key addition to his squad, noting not only his goal-scoring prowess but also his leadership qualities and experience in the Scottish game. With Rangers gearing up for a fierce battle against arch-rivals Celtic and an ambitious European campaign, Shankland's presence could prove pivotal in what's shaping up to be a crucial season. The atmosphere surrounding his arrival underscores just how important this signing is viewed within the club. For a team chasing silverware and consistency, bringing in a forward of Shankland's caliber sends a clear message. Rangers are not here to settle, they're here to win. Greetings fans, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as is greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.